Guys, it's Julius here, and I want to go through a quick video today. I want to just getting some things off my chest because I think this is one thing that a lot of entrepreneurs don't talk about, the power of assets, right? And I want to go through the powers of the asset and the way that sowing time into assets makes a difference. So the first way we're going to understand assets is in order for us to gain an asset, we need to be able to sow to receive. Right, so the first principle of sowing is I sow my time in exchange for funding. So this is how I do it. I sow my time in exchange for funding, seeds, and sow my seed in exchange for leveraging a harvest. I then use my harvest to feed and fulfill my God-given assignment and responsibilities. And in every cycle that I am able to grow and repeat that cycle, from year to year, per annum, right? I usually work on a 5-year plan and a 20-year plan. Then I'm able to grow into larger responsibilities and leave behind a generational blueprint, right? So the first thing is I understand while I'm producing this harvest is going to open up doors, my seed, my time. It's going to open up doors for assets to come. Like if you look at farming, you start growing, as the cycle grows bigger and bigger, the assets are added to able for the supply and demand, to keep up for the demand, right? So first thing is we have to understand how we are seeing time, how we are seeing the way that we are moving towards the future, in order for us to understand that assets are not riches, it is tools, right? So you're going to be rooted in purpose, rooted in character, in order for you to gain a higher exponential growth as an entrepreneur, your business, your investments, because otherwise you're going to spend it. Okay, you will never outgrow your development, personal development. You'll never out-earn your personal development, right? So, first thing about assets. Assets creates the ability to transport your harvest and wealth to greater responsibilities and opportunities because of stability, security, and ownership that gives access to sovereign decision making without external interruptions and manipulation. So what does it mean? If I own the asset, right? If I own the house, if I own it, right? I have no manipulation. I owe nobody anything. I have no external interruptions. It's paid off, right? So now I have an asset that I can leverage income from, right? If it's per month, it's an income. If it's per year, it's a leverage component. So now I have a house that can produce an income, right? So that asset now is transporting me into a fund, right? It is growing me, it's giving me opportunities. It is now giving me responsibilities, but it's giving me opportunities because I've got stability. I owe nothing to anybody. I can't be moved. I have security, which means that asset can produce an income, right? Plus per year, that asset, which is real estate, goes up 15% to compound hard assets with inflation of the money cycle that's going up every year. So you're getting a leverage component, you're getting an income. So I would consider that stability, security, because there's a leverage component and there's an income, right? So now you have a return on investment plus you have an income. Okay, so now that is what I consider an asset that is giving me sovereign decision making, which means I can think I'm in control. Now, Jim Rohn would say the risk that you take to own, you will not have to take to loan. So if I own it, I take the risk to own it, then I don't have to wait later for the bill for not risking that I own a loan to somebody else. Either I own it or I have to loan it, and that's the truth. Last thing about the assets. Assets gives the ability to transport and manipulate time, to elevate and expand gifts and opportunities, creating efficiency to create exponential productivity. Now, I own assets. I have a house, I have a car, right? I have a team, I have my assets, my phone, my laptop, Wi-Fi. I have assets, right? Now, when those assets are producing an income, right, I can exchange my time to say, okay, I have now created enough harvest. Where do I want to sow my time? Because which one is more efficient? You're going to see as you become more successful, your time is going to become more valuable because you're going to realize if I work 6 hours, I'm getting X. Now you grow to the point you realize, okay, if I work 6 hours here, I'm gaining 10X. So you're going to shift, and you're going to shift as you gain wiser. So you're going to grow in your skill development, and you're going to change your security structure as you grow in wealth. There's a structure as you keep growing. So now we have to understand that you're freeing up time. because now I have a car. I don't have to walk, I don't have to bolt, I don't have to pay off, I don't have to do external time wasting procedures. We use a thing called lean system. I don't have to use external waste products to fulfill that asset. I own the asset, so I own time. So now, because I have that ability, I can get to places quicker. My house is giving me ROIs. So now I have money coming in. It's freeing up my time, and now I have more time to create more entrepreneur ventures, to the point that I feel, okay, I'm fulfilling the responsibilities God's given me. And you always walk with contentment. Success is not something you achieve, it's something you attract. You don't pursue it, you're attracted. It's a direction, it's not a destination. So assets are powerful when you understand how to use it. When you are a wealthy person knows how to manipulate debt to gain, or you're going to take advantage of people's fear, you can have a leverage component over them, because the moment they fear, you have leverage. The weaker hand in the fear in the market will always fall out, because the strength guy with patience and great wisdom will know how to wait and buy in to chase the weaker hand out and gain the weaker hand's asset. And that is the power of assets, knowing how to leverage it. Coach Julius booked me for mentorships, and let's start growing you step by step to understand how to get to that point of exponential expansion.